Now imagine a language that has been passed down through countless generations, carrying the weight of history, the depth of spirituality, and the resilience of a people. Now, imagine that ancient language being spoken through a modern megaphone, broadcast in vibrant acrylics, projected in digital light, and sculpted from the very materials of the contemporary world. This is the electrifying reality of contemporary Indigenous art. It's not a relic of the past, carefully preserved under glass in a museum. It is a living, breathing, and evolving conversation. It is a dynamic bridge between millennia-old traditions and modern-day expressions, a powerful testament to the fact that culture is not a static monument, but a flowing river. When we talk about contemporary Indigenous art, we are talking about a vast and incredibly diverse field of creation that defies simple categorization. It encompasses the work of artists from hundreds of distinct nations and communities across the globe, each with their own unique cosmologies, aesthetic traditions, and histories. What unites these artists is a profound commitment to cultural continuity. They are not merely replicating the past, they are actively engaging with it, reinterpreting it, and carrying it forward. They are knowledge keepers, storytellers, and innovators all at once. At its very core, this art is an act of assertion, an assertion of identity in a world that has often tried to erase it. For centuries, Indigenous peoples have been subjected to colonial narratives that misrepresented their cultures as primitive, vanishing, or belonging to a bygone era. Contemporary Indigenous art shatters these stereotypes with breathtaking force. It declares unequivocally that these cultures are not only present, but are also dynamic, sophisticated, and central to modern life. Each piece becomes a statement of sovereignty, a reclamation of the right to self-representation, to tell one's own story in one's own voice, using a visual language that is both deeply ancestral and radically new. This is art as activism, art as survival, art as a declaration of "we are still here." A fundamental element that permeates this work is the deep, often spiritual, connection to land and country. In many Indigenous worldviews, the land is not a resource to be exploited. It is a relative, a sacred entity, imbued with life, memory, and spirit. It is the source of all life, the keeper of stories, and the foundation of culture. Contemporary artists draw upon this profound relationship, embedding the essence of the land into their work. This can be literal, through the use of natural pigments, wood, or fibers, or it can be conceptual. A painting might map ancestral songlines, a sculpture might embody the form of a sacred mountain, or a video installation might immerse the viewer in the sounds and sights of a specific, cherished place. They are not just creating landscapes, they are translating the voice of the land into a form that a modern audience can begin to understand. This act of translation is crucial in an age of ecological crisis, as these works often carry urgent messages about environmental stewardship, respect for the natural world, and the devastating impact of colonization and industrialization on the planet. This art is also a powerful tool for healing and remembrance. It confronts difficult histories head-on, addressing the traumas of forced displacement, assimilation policies, and cultural genocide. Artists do not shy away from these painful truths. Instead, they transform them into powerful works that demand reflection and dialogue. They create spaces for memory, for mourning, and for resilience. By visually articulating these histories, they ensure that they are not forgotten and challenge the dominant historical accounts that have so often ignored or silenced Indigenous experiences. Yet, even when dealing with trauma, the work is rarely just about despair. It is almost always imbued with a powerful sense of survivance, a term that goes beyond mere survival to encompass an active, dynamic presence and a forward-looking vision of regeneration and strength. It is about celebrating the enduring power of community, kinship, and ceremony. It's about ensuring that the ancestral knowledge which has sustained people for millennia continues to be a source of strength and guidance for future generations. This is the fundamental power we see at play, art that looks back not to remain in the past, but to gather the strength needed to forge a new and vibrant future. It's a process of reinterpreting, not just repeating, ensuring that every story, every symbol, every technique is infused with contemporary relevance, speaking to the challenges and realities of life in the 21st century. Building on this profound ancestral foundation, contemporary Indigenous artists are unleashing a tidal wave of creativity across an astonishingly diverse range of mediums. They are masters of adaptation and innovation, demonstrating that tradition is not a rigid set of rules, but a flexible, living framework for expression. They are taking the iconographies, storytelling techniques, and spiritual knowledge of their ancestors and recontextualizing them in ways that are both unexpected and deeply resonant. Let's dive into how this incredible fusion of old and new manifests in their work. In the realm of painting, we see artists moving far beyond traditional forms. Take, for example, the work of Christy Belcourt, a Métis artist from Canada. Her large-scale paintings are reminiscent of traditional beadwork, composed of thousands of tiny, meticulously applied dots of paint. Her canvases bloom with vibrant floral and animal motifs, representing the interconnectedness of all living things and the healing power of the natural world. It's a technique deeply rooted in a traditional women's art form, yet her use of vibrant acrylics on massive canvases gives it a stunningly modern and monumental presence, making ancient wisdom impossible to ignore in a contemporary gallery setting. Similarly, Aboriginal Australian artists from communities like Papunya Tula have transformed the sacred ephemeral art of sand painting into a global contemporary art movement. Using acrylic paints on canvas, artists like Clifford Possum Japaljari created intricate dot paintings that are not merely abstract designs. They are complex maps of ancestral lands, sacred histories, and dreamtime stories, encoding profound cultural and spiritual knowledge in a visual language of breathtaking complexity and beauty. Sculpture and installation art offer another powerful avenue for this cultural dialogue. Artists are using both traditional materials like wood, stone, and fiber, and contemporary materials like steel, glass, and found objects to create three-dimensional works that command physical space and engage the viewer's entire body. Consider the work of Maori artist Brett Graham. His large-scale sculptures often reference traditional Maori architecture and fortifications, but they are constructed with modern industrial materials. These powerful forms speak of colonial conflict, land rights, and the enduring strength of Maori sovereignty. They are at once fortresses of cultural memory and critiques of historical injustice. In North America, artists like Brian Jungen of Dainza heritage famously deconstructs and reassembles consumer goods, like Nike Air Jordan sneakers, into stunning sculptures that resemble traditional Northwest Coast masks. This brilliant act of transformation critiques consumer culture while simultaneously celebrating the adaptability and ingenuity of Indigenous art forms. He turns a symbol of global capitalism into a powerful statement about cultural appropriation and resilience. Perhaps the most dynamic frontier is the realm of digital and new media art. A new generation of artists is embracing technology not as a departure from tradition, but as a new tool for its expression. Video installations, digital photography, and even virtual reality are being used to tell ancient stories in new ways. The artist collective Skawanity, a Mohawk new media artist, creates machinimas, movies made in virtual environments, to explore Indigenous history and imagine vibrant, decolonized futures. Her work, like Time Traveler, allows viewers to experience history from an Indigenous perspective, creating immersive narratives that are both educational and deeply moving. Similarly, photographer and installation artist Kanupa Hanska Luger of Mandan, Hidatsa, Arikara, and Lakota heritage orchestrates large-scale community-based art projects that often have a significant digital component. His Mirror Shield project during the Standing Rock protests involved creating mirrored shields for water protectors, an act of art and activism that was documented and disseminated globally through social media, turning a protest into a powerful collective visual statement. This work demonstrates how technology can be harnessed to mobilize communities and amplify political messages on a global scale. Performance art also serves as a vital medium where artists use their own bodies as the site of cultural expression and political commentary. The work of Kent Monkman, a Cree artist, and his gender-fluid alter ego, Mischief Eagle Testicle, is a prime example. Through performance, painting, and video, Monkman inserts Mischief into romanticized colonial landscapes and historical scenes, completely upending the traditional narrative. His work is witty, provocative, and deeply critical, challenging the viewer's preconceived notions of history, sexuality, and Indigenous identity with a flamboyant and unforgettable presence. These artists and countless others are not just making art, they are engaged in a profound act of cultural revitalization. They are ensuring that their traditions remain relevant and powerful, addressing the most pressing issues of our time, from social justice and climate change to the very definition of identity, with creativity, courage, and a vision that is firmly rooted in the wisdom of the past. The ripple effect of this creative explosion is being felt far beyond Indigenous communities themselves. Contemporary Indigenous art is no longer on the periphery of the art world. It is increasingly taking center stage, demanding and receiving significant global recognition. Major international exhibitions, art biennials, and prestigious galleries are now prominently featuring Indigenous artists, not as ethnographic curiosities, but as leading figures in the contemporary art conversation. This shift is monumental. It represents a crucial step in decolonizing the art world, an institution that has historically been complicit in the marginalization and misrepresentation of non-Western cultures. When a work by an Indigenous artist hangs in the Museum of Modern Art or the Venice Biennale, it challenges the very canon of art history. It forces a re-evaluation of what constitutes fine art and whose stories are considered worthy of being told. This institutional recognition is more than just symbolic. It validates these art forms on a global stage, creating new economic opportunities for artists and their communities, and ensuring that their perspectives are included in the broader cultural dialogue of our time. Beyond the gallery walls, the impact of this art is fostering profound cross-cultural understanding and contributing to vital processes of reconciliation. For non-Indigenous audiences, engaging with these artworks can be a transformative experience. It offers a window into worldviews that are often completely different from their own, challenging them to confront uncomfortable truths about their own national histories and the ongoing legacies of colonialism. Art has a unique ability to communicate complex, emotional, and political ideas in a way that bypasses intellectual defenses. A single powerful image can spark more empathy and dialogue than 1,000 pages of a history book. It can make the abstract concepts of land rights, cultural loss, and resilience tangible and deeply personal. In countries like Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, where official truth and reconciliation processes are underway, contemporary Indigenous art plays a critical role. It provides a platform for truth-telling, for memorializing the past, and for envisioning a more just and equitable future. Public art commissions, in particular, are bringing these conversations into the shared spaces of daily life, embedding Indigenous presence and history into the very fabric of the urban landscape. Looking forward, the future of Indigenous art is as dynamic and boundless as the artists who are shaping it. The fusion of ancient knowledge with emerging technologies will undoubtedly continue to produce new and exciting forms of expression. We will see more artists exploring virtual and augmented reality, creating immersive experiences that transport audiences to ancestral lands or into the heart of creation stories. The digital realm also offers unprecedented opportunities for connection and collaboration, allowing artists from different nations and continents to share techniques, stories, and strategies for cultural revitalization. This global network of Indigenous creators is a powerful force, fostering a sense of solidarity and shared purpose that transcends borders. Furthermore, this art is inspiring new generations. Young Indigenous people who may have felt disconnected from their heritage are seeing themselves and their cultures represented in powerful, contemporary ways. They see artists who are proud, outspoken, and successful, providing them with new role models and new pathways for expressing their own identities. This ensures that the traditions will not only survive, but will continue to thrive and evolve, passed on to the next generation of storytellers, innovators, and cultural guardians. The work of these artists is a powerful reminder that Indigenous culture is not a relic of the past. It is a vital, living force, constantly adapting and renewing itself. It is a vision of the future, a future where ancient echoes inform modern voices, creating a more inclusive and more honest global cultural landscape for us all.